Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston and today we are following the news. And we got a pretty interesting week to talk about here. We got a lot of EB02 cards, our first EB02 leader. Let's jump right into that because there's quite a few cards to talk about here. Jumping right into our first leader, if it's anything like EB02 or EB01, I would have guessed 3 liters. I could not find it on the official website. I was looking for it. Let's assume this is the first of 3 because that's what the last one did. Monkey D. Luffy, green, purple leader for live 5k power, Straw Hat Crew. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -2. If you have only Straw Hat Crew type characters in play, set up 2 of your rested Dawn as active. Then this this leader gets plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, that's Dawn -2, restand to gain 1000 power until your next turn. It's decent. I think I could go back and forth on whether I like that cost of Dawn -2. But in purple you have ramp. You're getting a little bit of everything with this leader, which is pretty interesting. Because you could always have the characters in play that re-ramp when you do a Dawn minus. I think there's a Eustace. I think there's a Pudding. I mean, it doesn't. With those characters on the board, you don't get your 2 rested Dawn. Like, let's assume we have something that we care about on the field that can help us out. I don't know. The Dawn -2, I don't like Dawn minus effects, but purple has ramp, and ramp is really good, so this would be pretty good late to mid game, really good late game, because a 6k leader will stop a lot of pressure just by being in existence. We can look back to red purple Luffy, red Newgate just being 6k off the top. And all of that. So yeah, I think having the extra 1000 power is pretty nice defensively. Okay, offensively, you can just add Dawn in other ways. So being able to be defensively stronger is really nice. It will slow down your opponent from being able to attack a bunch. I could bounce around on whether I like this card or not. I think I'm liking its prospects right now, so let's jump onto our next card before we jump back and start disliking it again. We got a green Zoro. Roronoa Zoro, green character, 4 cost 5k power, East Blue, Straw Hat Crew, 1k counter. If your opponent has 2 or more characters on the field, this character can attack characters on the turn it's played. On play, if your leader has the type Straw Hat Crew, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So that's really interesting. It has kind of rush. It can only attack characters. I think Dressrosa had this the first set that it was in, Kingdoms of Intrigue, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember if people played it. Can't remember. But being able to gain attack into characters, some type of rush, is always going to be interesting. It has good power balance also, and then on top of possibly being able to attack on the turn it's played, it has a rest a 4 or less. So if they have 2 cards on the board, it can rest something and attack into it, which is pretty interesting. Let's see what is next, because this is an East Blue typing, and we got a Nami with East Blue here. Really interesting what they're doing with EB02 right now, because our Luffy leader doesn't have East Blue. Anyways, we're rambling on. Let's get on to this Nami. Nami, green character, 1 cost 2k power, East Blue, Straw Hat Crew, 1k counter. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami, then put it into your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. It's a searcher for for green Straw Hats. I don't know. I mean, this set could be all green Straw Hats. East Blue, that's really interesting. We also have film that's in green, so having an additional searcher for green film might be interesting. Oh, I mean, it's a searcher. It's a searcher in green. I think it's showing what this set's going to be for EB02 being green Straw Hats, which is really nice. And if it's just East Blue Straw Hats, that's really interesting too, because we have the Kura archetype that deals with East Blue. Interesting. Let's move on to probably one of the most controversial cards I've seen, and it's not just one, but 6 of the exact same effect. So I'm going to read it, and then we'll explain what I'm rambling about here. This is highest point reached. Red event, 2 cost. Music. Main. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card with a cost of 4 or more, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, imagine me saying that and the card being blue or green or blue or purple or black or yellow. All of these cards with the animation cell look are exactly the same card but for their color. So this one is green. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card with a cost of 4 or more, add it to your hand. It's the exact same card but with green. They all have a trigger of activate this card's main effect. And they're all named after, I believe, the opening title sequences. So green is We Are, blue is Hope. Oh, it's in English on that one. Oh, they're in English. That's interesting. That one's not though. Maybe the songs are literally like title names are in English. I completely missed that the first time I looked at them. All right, this one's Brand New World. As you can see, this one is Map of the Heart, and the last one is Us. And they all do the same thing. So every color got one of these. What does that mean? Every deck can now search cost 4 or more cards. And that's really interesting for this game. It pushes the decks that people build into a late game focus, I think. Decks like yellow that have a mixed match of types, and from my memory that I just looked at yellow decks for the yellow color review for Royal Bloodlines, I don't think they run searchers in the same way. At least everyone but black yellow, because I think black yellow might. They run weird searchers too, because yellow's been so like pull Sky Island or whatever. This gives you a searcher for your entire top end, and that means Rayleigh in red decks, or Katakuri, or Big Moms, or whatever in any of the yellow decks. And that could be really bad if not everyone got one, but I think this is going to be really interesting to change how the game is played. And if it's bad for the game, they'll get rid of it. And I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to change the game, definitely. Because now you can play a little bit more free. And that's an interesting concept for where this game could be going. I love it. Is it bad for the game? Possibly. Very possibly. It could be very dirty. These are not color locked, if I read the effect correctly. This is get a card. So if you're playing dual color, do you run multiple of these? Yeah, that's really interesting. That could be bad. Maybe we'll see a lot more dual color leaders being played. Who knows? It's interesting. I can't wait to see what people do with it. I'm sure people are going to be complaining about it. I think it's great. I think it's fun. I think it gives us something to talk about, and that is awesome for us. Let's move on to our next card here. Gaiamon, green character, 1 cost, 1k power, East Blue, 1k counter. if you have a Sarfunkel, this character gains blocker. Wonder if Sarfunkel is the girl that's in the box. Anyways, it gains blocker, which means I don't really like this card. All you have to do then is kill the Sarfunkel, and this loses blocker, and then it no longer is effective. So unless the Sarfunkel says you have to attack Gaiamon first, I think if there's a Gaiamon on field, this card can't be destroyed by card effects or something. Is the only way that I think this card is good. Cards that gain keyword traits while something else is on the field feels like it can easily lose its value. It's a blocker. They killed the Sarfunkel. Now it's no longer a blocker. Not a fan, but that's okay because we still got more stuff to talk about here. We have a 5-7K Kuru Vanilla. I'm not going to talk about that. It's a vanilla. Wherever it goes, it goes. Don't really care. Kuru's cute. Love this duck. Not going to spend any more time on it. We have a stage card. It's a very cute Going Merry. Going Merry, yellow stage, 2 cost, Straw Hat Crew. Activate main. You may rest this stage and turn the top card of your life face up. Give up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's it. That's all it does. I don't like it. I think that that resource of flipping face life cards face up is a limited resource, and if you don't have cards to flip your top life face down, or to pick up that card and replace it with a face down life, then this effect does not happen very often, and that's a waste of a slot if you can't use it frequently. I much would have rather liked this say flip a face up life face down. I think that would have a crap ton of value, and right now I just don't see the value in giving 1000 power and giving up that flip a life face up resource. I think it's much better used with other effects. Moving on to a very interesting Iceberg. Iceberg, purple character, 1 cost 0 power, water 7, Galley Law Company, 2k counter. On play, if there are 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 Galley Law and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and play 1 Galley Law Company from your hand. Now, that last part is quite crazy, but this top part is also quite crazy. So with the added effect of having to have 3 Dawn on the field, you can look at 7 cards, which is a very deep search for a deck that you'll probably be playing mostly Galley Law Company. And then getting to play a card from your hand. It doesn't say play the revealed card. It says play a card. Play a Galley Law card from your hand. And I think that for a 1 cost, getting any of those cards on the field is quite crazy. Yeah, I like this. I don't think it brings purple Iceberg into I don't think it's gonna revive that deck, but dang, could it possibly? That's crazy, because then your Iceberg leader will do its thing and get another one. So that's pretty interesting, I think. I don't think it's going to bring it back, because I think that deck sucked. But boy, does it make me want to look back at it and think, does this 1 card change everything? I know what this card will change, though. My opinion on how Bandai uses the name Sogeking. Sogeking, blue character, 4 cost 5k power, Sniper Island type. According to the rules, this card's name is also treated as Usopp. How dare you betray Sogeking with that effect? I joke about it all the time. Who is Sogeking? He's not Usopp. Trust Usopp and Sogeking when they say they don't know who each other are. I'm just being a troll. Okay. On play, draw 2 cards and place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order. Then return up to 1 character with a cost of 1 or less back to the owner's hand. So this is a blue card that needs to say place the cards at the bottom of your deck. Draw cards place at the bottom of your deck so that Nami doesn't get a huge draw 2 boost, because we know that we have to design all blue cards around Nami, or that deck will just run away with the meta until people complain and complain until it's banned. So draw 2 cards, place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck, then return a 1 or less to your opponent's hand. Besides the complaining about this card being Usopp, I think that draw 2 is going to be very nice, a very nice cycle. Placing 2 cards to the bottom of your deck is quite nice, because if you have enough card movement, you might see those cards again. And if not, you're placing cards you didn't want in your hand anyways. Draw 2 on play 4/4 is pretty interesting. I don't know how often I want to send a 1 cost back to my opponent's hand. 1 is very easy to play out again. And the 1 cost that I want to play in my deck are going to be the few 1 cost blockers and my searchers. And I don't want to send a searcher back to my opponent's hand. So even if I don't activate the second half of this effect, draw 2, I always love to draw cards. That's why I play card games. I want to draw cards. I want to be doing things and moving things around. Let's move on to this Brook. Ooh, this Brook. Okay. Brook, black character, 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter, straw hat crew. On play, you may add up to 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand. On KO, you may play up to 1 4 cost or lower Laboon from your hand. That's quite interesting. So your Laboon goes out of play. There's a vanilla Laboon, not the guy I'm talking about. There's a baby Laboon, that's okay. There is a -4 Laboon from EB01, and I think that is my primary target for this, unless there's a really badass Laboon in this set. But a activate main -4 Laboon, I think that's what it's effective if I remember correctly. Getting it KO'd and then bringing it back and then playing it, oh my goodness, what a fun card. And I love it, and I hope that's what the design was for this, because that is quite a nice little cycle. And for that to be for Brook, I love that for Brook. I hope that they meet someday on Reverse Island. Anyways, moving on. I love this card. I hope people love the hell out of it as well. And I hope that that minus Laboon is the target for that. Let's move on to, I believe, our last card for today, a green Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie, green character, 7 cost, 7k power, Supernova Bonnie Pirates. 1k counter. On play, up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Nice. Then, at the end of your turn, set up to 1 of your rested Dawn cards to active. Oh, I love that green is doing this. I hope that there's enough of them to make it annoying. I know that Dofi does this much more effectively, but for Supernova, for Bonnie Pirates, for green, I think that's really interesting. Making cards not come back as not reactivate is so dirty. I love it. I love green for that. I want to see more cards that do that, but I want them to be unplayable together, because at a certain point I want to play the game as well, and if green just stops me from playing, that's no fun. Setting a card as active is what green has been doing recently, so I don't care. It just is. At a turn in which this card is being played, it's whatever. I mean, if you have enough of them, it can be really annoying, but I don't imagine there being like 4 of these. It does enable counter events, which I think is the whole point, which is quite nice, I think. And since this is an SR, we might get another SR Bonnie, which is always good for us. That's my last card to talk about this week. Oh, it was a packed week. We are revealing cards every day and sometimes multiple cards in a day when there are live streams. So yeah, if you want to get more EB02 content, hit that subscribe because we are going to be covering it as much as we possibly can as we just absolutely barrel towards the release of this set. Let me know in the comments what you are looking forward to most in this set. I want to hear your opinions on those events because they are quite interesting and could be just absolutely game-changing. And I want to know what you want to use those 2 cost events for. With that being said, if you want to get more One Piece TCG content, hit that subscribe. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. And until next time, peace.